Welcome, my fellow Clashers from around the world. It is your host, Galadon. You are watching Clash of Clans Attacks, and of course today, we're covering more Grand Warden action, probably my favorite aspect of the new Town Hall 11 update. And right off the bat, we've got the infamous North Coast from Lost Phoenix moving in with a Go Wee Wee attack using his newfound Grand Warden. Now, I say newfound because, well, a lot of players are still trying to get used to the Grand Warden and exactly how best to use him. I know I recently forgot to set him to air on an attack that I did from the air. He was on the ground, he got annihilated. So there's a lot of little things to think about when you're using the Grand Warden. Also, you obviously want his passive and active abilities to affect as many units as possible. So of course that means keeping a close eye on his aura as he moves throughout the base and trying to time that Eternal Tome when that aura is reaching enough units that it will truly make a difference. So units moving in right here headed towards the core, and early on is when I usually suggest trying to use it. Anytime around right now, you'll see almost every unit in the area would be affected by it, and there's still a lot of units up, but as time continues on, North Coast has still not activated that unit's ability, and now the Grand Warden kind of wandering around. 39% damage, the Town Hall is down, but you've got a lot of defensive structures still up, including both Inferno Towers, and North Coast still has not hit the button. He's not activating that Eternal Fist Royal Cloaking Iron Tome, but it's as easy to forget the name as it is to forget the ability. I know I've done it in the past with the Queen and the King, but right here it's just about useless. Remember, it provides 5 seconds of invincibility at max level at level 20, so that's a significant buff, really more than enough to make the difference in some of these battles that are between 1 and 2 stars or between a victory and a loss. But right here, looks like North Coast is either showing off like he didn't need it or just saving it for the very end. Right here, he finally does activate the Royal Queen's Archer Cloak, or I don't know what's gotten into me, the Archer Queen's Royal Cloak, and there goes the Eternal Tome. Pretty much useless at that point, but North Coast wrapping up a 2-star win nonetheless. And I believe that was Gallifale number 2 in this episode. You're more than welcome down below to leave hashtag 2 Gallifales, hashtag 3 Gallifales. You tell me how many times I failed in this episode. I'm curious to see what the final tally is. So next up, we've got none other than Apex, the cup leader in Lost Phoenix, moving in against this mistake of a base design. Yes, this is the base that I keep expecting to go away completely, but surprisingly, we keep seeing it showing up. So I cannot see it having any success any longer at Town Hall 11, but this player is using it. I admit to using it for about the first 5 days of the update, but Apex is on his way to destroy it. Well-placed poison spell, jump spells, rage spell, everything working out. You can see the units that came out of the clan castle just about melted right away, and right there, the Eternal Tome use just about ideal. Catches every unit in the core, and early enough that just about every unit was still up. So a full 5 seconds of invincibility makes a huge difference when you consider the damage output coming from those Inferno Towers, the Teslas, and all of the other defensive structures in the core, combined with the number of units that are being fired upon. 5 seconds doesn't seem like a lot of time, or 4 or 3, but it really can make a huge difference in a battle. And right here, Apex showed the optimum usage of that Eternal Tome, and it helps him wipe out the interior of this base. Working his way through the core units, heading out towards the right-hand side, you can see we've got full-size golems, witches, wizards. The Queen is still at full health, and tucked in right behind her is the Grand Warden acting either cowardly or supporting. Looks like more support. We'll go with support. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He's not scared. He's out there firing on stuff. He just has longer range with that giant staff, and that is going to wrap up a 3-star attack for Apex and 16 more trophies towards his legend tally. For our next replay, we see another mistake of a base. This one pretty popular for a while, but I would anticipate that it's going away as well. And sometimes the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome doesn't make all of the difference in the raid, but the Grand Warden himself can be clutch, And that is what we are about to see from Sarachota of Lost Phoenix. As he moves in from the bottom right, you can see the Eagle Artillery already activating, but he's moved in towards the Eagle Artillery side. But like I've said before, the Eagle Artillery not that formidable of a defense. He freezes it along with the Queen anyway. But again, I would expect to see some sort of change to the Eagle Artillery's abilities in the future, maybe specifically towards tanking units, because we have seen it take down heroes pretty quickly, including the Queen and the Warden, but up against Golems, Lava Hounds, it is pretty much useless. So here comes Sarachota moving in towards the core. Level 10 Grand Warden has gone around and kind of followed the King and the P.E.K.K.A. So again, the Grand Warden does his best to support those units with a bunch of hit points, falling behind the King, the Queen. There goes the Eternal Tome. And again, not protecting a lot of units. You can see the Queen had moved off. Several of the other units were already down. But as he's moving in, he's just about to close in on 50%. And there it is for the first star, 50%. There's a P.E.K.K.A. going down, and now the Grand Warden just about alone out here against this Inferno Tower. Not usually a good matchup for the Warden. He doesn't have a lot of hit points, but he's doing his best. The Inferno was already damaged. Down into the red, the Grand Warden just about to go down. Now there's an Expo on him as well, and he is not down. He survives somehow, and the Town Hall is going to fall to the Grand Warden. An absolutely clutch Grand Warden. It looked like for sure he was going to go down. The other units came back, took down that Expo, took down the Inferno Tower, and now the Grand Warden, with an invisible amount of hit points left, is left all by himself in the center of this village to take down this Town Hall. And with that extra 30 seconds on the clock, maybe making the difference, the Grand Warden wins it, grabs the second star, and Sarachota walks away a winner. So it just goes to show that that Grand Warden does have his moments, both in support and by himself. He doesn't put out a lot of damage, but that extended range can make the difference. And right there, Sar knocks off a whale, 30 trophies on his way towards Legend League. So Sarachota and many other Lost Phoenix members may be on their way to Legend, but you, the viewer, the subscriber, you are all legends in my mind. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate every last one of you. Please, if you get a chance, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for daily Clash of Clans content, and I hope to see all of you back here again tomorrow for more Full Attacks.
Galadon, you know the difference between us? I'm a legend in my own time. You're a legend in your own mind.